What's going on, everyone? So today I'm going to give you a TOS breakdown. So when you guys first load TOS, it should look something like this. And on this top bar is everything you're really going to need to navigate through the platform. So here's help, contact us if you need any of that, education tools, all that's pretty much irrelevant. All you really need is charts and scan and monitor. Well, that's all I really use. So let's come over here to charts and just put any stock chart up, whatever, just as an example. So here we have Apple. We're going to go through how to customize all of this, but first let's break down what TOS offers. So TOS has this on-demand feature. In case you guys didn't know, you click on demand and it's basically simulation. So you get to choose the date and you can go back in time to that date and you can just simulation trade. It's pretty cool because it's 24/7 whenever you want to hop on that, but sometimes it does lag. That actually happens a good amount of time. Now let's say you just took a trade. You could come over here to this little settings bar and come here to show trade, and then it'll show your trades. Now I haven't taken any trades on Apple, so there isn't going to be any. On the left side you see this bar, so here's going to be your account information, live news for a ticker symbol. So let's say since we have SPY up, we'll put SPY here too. So this is the news for the S&P. Trader TV is going to be Ameritrade'S network or CNBC, but I don't want that, so I'm going to close all these out. Now, I don't really use, here's watch list, I use that. So all I really use here is the watch list and the level 2. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this quick chart feature by clicking the column and hitting delete. Get rid of Trader TV by doing the same thing. Oh, sorry, I also use live news. So now let me go ahead and link this so that way whatever I have right here is going to be here as well because it's red. Okay, really quick, let's go over how to make a watch list. It's pretty simple. You just head on over here to watch list. Let's say there's a ton of stocks you want to look at. You're going to click on, sorry, I just readjusted it. Oh, but that's a good point. You can adjust your watch list however you'd like. So if you want net change, this goes by percentage change. And then if you want based on the price, you can just hit ask or bid, whichever one. But let's go over how to create a watch list. So you come down here to create a watch list. Right here, you're going to click that and then name it whatever you want, watch list, whatever you want. And then you just start entering ticker symbols of whatever you like. So for example, you just enter the ticker symbols and then when you're done, you hit save. Here, I already have a watch list called watch list, so let's just enter something. There you go. And then since it's linked, you can click it and go ahead and look at the charts. So that's how you make a watch list. Now, something that I found very useful is actually editing these little things. So you see bid, ask, net change. I don't really need net change, but I do want to see volume. So I'm going to hit customize. Then I'm going to come over here to volume. Let's go ahead and look for volume. Right here, volume. So I'm going to add volume and I'm going to remove net change. So now we have the volume as well, so I can sort them by volume. And another thing I find very useful when having a little layout on your watch list is HTB and ETB. What this does is it tells you if a stock is easy to short or hard to short, easy to borrow or hard to borrow. So right now, if I wanted to short all of these stocks, I wouldn't be able to trade Tesla short Tesla or Cheesecake Factory just because they're hard to borrow. And when it's blank right here, it's really a hit or miss. You don't really know until you try and send the order. But if it says NTB, then it says not available to borrow at all. So NTB and HTB, you're more than likely not going to be able to borrow, but ETB is good to go for shorting. Say you just made a watch list and you want whatever stock you click to come up on the chart. Then what you would do is you would link this to the chart, and then whatever stock you click is going to come up on the chart. And also the level 2 because I linked that as well. Now, something I always wanted to know starting out, well, first let me just go ahead and get rid of this. Something I always wanted to know, it took me a little longer to find out, is how to have multiple charts. So you're going to just come over here to this right-hand corner, click this little column, hit detach, and boom, another chart. And you can do this as many times as you want. And you kind of move the chart around to make it whatever size you want. And you can unlink it. So this will be, let's say, Cisco. And this will be IBM. And then if you have a monitor, you can just drag it out to the monitor like that, and it'll be on your monitor. So Now we're going to talk about trend lines because you guys can see my trend line right here. I didn't reset it. I'll reset it right now so I can show you guys how to go ahead and get a nicer trend line. So let's go ahead and click Edit Properties. I'm going to reset it to the default just so you guys can get a look at what it is. So first things first, you're going to want to come to Drawings up here, Drawing Tools, and come to Trend Line, which is right here. So if you want to see how much a stock is up or something, let me get rid of this trend line right here. Remove drawing, there we go. So let's say I want to know how much Kodak is up. I can just click and bring it up to see how much Kodak went up. So now we can draw trend lines. So let's go ahead and get into a 1 minute just so I can give you a better example. So right here, if I wanted to go draw a trend line, that's how the standard trend lines look. And I think that's really ugly. And it's just like, you can't really see it that well unless you draw it like really big, but I don't like it. So we're going to go ahead and edit it. So we're going to right click on the trend line, come to Edit Properties, and then first things first, I'm going to make it different. I kind of like it when it's just not a straight line. I like little lines. Then we're going to make the width bigger so we can see it better, and you can change the color if you like. It's really up to you. Doesn't really matter. And we're going to ignore all the stuff on the top here, and then we're just going to hit Save as Default. So now this is our default. So now that when we draw trend lines, it's going to be much bigger, but we still don't have that extension I had earlier. So let me go ahead and clear this drawing set and draw a trend line, right click it, Edit Properties, and now right here you're going to say right extension on, left extension on, Save as Default. So now when you draw the trend lines, it's going to extend all the way out, just like that. And again, you can edit them however you like, but this is how I like my trend lines. So yeah, I hope that helped you because I really don't like the default trend lines on TOS. Let's get into the appearance because I really don't like how this chart looks. So let's come over here to Settings, head over to Appearance, and I like my candles filled in, so I'm going to say Fill Up. So you can see now the green candles are filled up as opposed to not being filled up just like this. So I like them filled up, that's preference. And I don't like the grid in the background. So as you guys can see, this grid, I really don't like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it by going to Appearance, clicking on unchecking grid and checking background. And I'm going to make my background just black. And then apply. See, there we go. Much better in my opinion. But one more thing is, as you can see, there's not really any space on the right here. I like for there to be space on the right. So I'm going to come over here to time axis and I'm going to leave about, let's say 35. That's just going to give me a little space on the right here, as you can see. If that's too much for you, you can always do lower number, or if you want more space, you can do a higher number. But 35 works well for me. So this is more how I like my charts to look. Let's go over how to add indicators now, because I know a lot of people like to add indicators, and I do too. So let's go over here to Studies, and then go to Edit Studies. And now you're just going to enter whatever indicator you want. So for example, RSI, I'm going to double click that and boom, it adds the RSI. So now I have the RSI as well right here. So you can just do that for as many studies as you want. And then say you don't want to study, just go back to Edit Studies. And then, that's how you adjust it. You come right here, hit the X, and boom, it's gone. So just like that, very simple. Now, if you come to the right here, you could also have your live news down here. If you click it, level 2 down here. But again, I like to have that to the left. It's just much cleaner, in my opinion, when stuff's coming in. So that way I can have the level 2 on the left and the tape on the right. So yeah, there's the tape for you guys. Active Trader. So, this reminds me. Before we go any further, there's something you really need to do. So come over here to your setup. This is going to make so you actually have real-time data, because TOS is known for having a bit of a delay. Now you're going to come down here to System and make sure your quote speed is set to real-time, no delay, because the default is actually delayed. So make sure you're on real-time, no delay, then hit Applied Settings. But something else you might want to do is go over to Active Trader, and right here, the AT order submission rate limit, I moved mine to 0. All that does is, if you were to spam orders right here, just hit buy, usually it would send an order, hey, did you mean hit buy twice? But when you set that to 0, that little question won't pop up. It'll just send 2 orders of buy. Now, another thing I like to do here is go over to the settings of the Active Trader, and I like to have so then it has options, right? So here are all the options. I like to have buy the bid. So let me click it and then click add item. And I also like to have sell the ask. So let's find sell the ask. Here we go. So there we go. Now we have join the bid and join the ask. Instead of hitting buy market, sell market, I like to do this. And then if you want, you could also have sell the bid and buy the ask, which I do that for my hotkeys, which brings me to the next topic, hotkeys. So go over to application settings, come to the right here, and boom, you have your hotkeys. Now make sure they're enabled, and you can, so one thing that you need to know, because I was struggling with this, when you're trading on demand, your hotkeys aren't going to work. They only work on live trading, and I think they work for paper trading as well. So right here you can adjust your hotkeys. So for example, if I don't want buy the ask to be Alt A, I can change it to all of these different options, or there's a default option, and I can change it from Alt to Control to Shift and all that good stuff. Yeah, so for the charts, there's 1 minute, 5 minute, all these different time frames, but you can also make your own. If you come over here to time frame, custom, and then you can say from this date to this date and the time period, and it doesn't have to be 1 hour. You can adjust it however you'd like. So intraday, daily, all this good stuff. You can just customize this, play around with it, and also customize list. So yeah, here we go, add time frame, blah, blah, and you can figure out what time frame you'd want. Now we go over to scan, and then when you go over to scan, there's a bunch of different options based on your criteria of what you like. So these are net change, volume, and change in percentage. So let's say you only want a stock with a certain price range. So you could click last, and then last is going to be the last price, and then you can kind of edit it. So let's say you don't want any penny stocks, right? So you can start at $5 and then go up to whatever your price range is, let's say 100, and then hit enter, and it's going to filter out for all those stocks. And same thing with volume. Let's say you want 1 million shares being traded, then you can go ahead and filter that out, 1 million being the minimum, and then percent, it could be negative or positive. Let's say you're looking at up 5% stocks that are at least up 5%, then you can filter that, and you can also like drag this around, move it around, just however you want. You really do have some freedom here. Then if you come over here to support, if you have a question, you can hit create a support, and you can go ahead and do that. Okay, so now that you have a lot of the basics down, let's go over how to hide your alerts and how to set alerts, because I know a lot of people don't like the way Ameritrade's default layout is for your alerts. So let's say you want to know when IBM is above 124. You're going to right click, come down to create alert, then you're just going to hit either at or above, whichever one you want. And then you can adjust the price down to the penny, whatever you'd like. Then you're going to hit create. Now you can see it's kind of this ugly line in the middle of your chart. Let's say you're just like trying to day trade and this thing's in the way and you don't like it. Then you can come here to settings, come over here to alerts, and then you're going to change show alerts to either do not show or show arrow only. I like show arrow only because when you do show arrow only, when you hover over the arrow, you can still see where your alert is, and it works out better in my opinion. And if you right click it, you can go ahead and cancel it or replace it or really whatever you want with it. So yeah, that's why I like having the arrow. So that's pretty much it for the basics of creating your charting setup. If I missed anything or if you have any questions, make sure to leave one down below and I'll get to it. I'm also doing a series pretty soon within the next few weeks. I think I'll start either next week or the week after. It all depends on how my account gets set up, where I'm going to start a small account with $2,000 and try and grow it to $10,000. And as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be going live every single day for the live trading, because I can't go live unless I have 1,000 subs. So yeah, hopefully that interests you. You can subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.